I'm wondering, Kelly, if you can talk to us or give us some examples maybe around when you get to that clarity with a team member of what is going to motivate them to help us get to that point where we are able to be doing the things we are best suited for and others are doing, stepping into their strengths. How have you made sure you've had clarity on what success actually looks like, what the outcome is, because it's going to be different for different team members. It's not across the board. And how do you actually then track and measure to make sure you're moving towards that?
Yeah, well, I think for us, it's having our North Star and never diverging or going off course from that. And so I think a lot of people hire people to get help. They don't hire people to align with moving towards the North Star. And those are different things, because what happens is when you hire people to get help with something, you've hired someone that's going to create more work, and actually they may take tasks off of your plate, but then they take more bandwidth to manage them. And then you're doing things that do those things even really need to get done. And then people are saying team is expensive and team isn't productive and team isn't moving forward. And it's like, yeah, because you constructed team that way. Right? So you need to know what your North Star is. And then whenever you're going to hire someone, you need to know, how is this role moving us forward towards that North Star? And what are the specific actions and the specific activities and the specific things that this particular role is going to own and do that are going to move us towards that North Star? So before someone ever comes into the company, there's a direct correlation between where you're going as an organization, what role this plays, and how this role is going to move you forward towards that in a way that you couldn't do without them. And I think if you frame it up in that way, a lot of people wouldn't hire the people that they've hired. A lot of people wouldn't have the roles in their company that they have. They would have different roles. So again, it comes back to that idea of clarity and alignment, and really being thoughtful and taking the time to do that thinking about how you're going to achieve that alignment. And I think for a lot of business owners, when they hire, they want someone to come in and solve problems for them in the business. And yes, people come into our businesses to solve problems. But again, if you're not clear on the North Star and the outcome and the objective, then they can solve a lot of problems for you without actually moving the business forward. And I see that all the time.
It's interesting too, because as you were speaking, the other thing that came to mind, I know I've done this many times, is that we can, when someone's coming into a new role, even if we think we've been really reflective and intentional in preparing for that, there can be this piece where we project onto people. I do this all the time, queen of projection. So I think I'm being kind and creating a space for them to win because I create the space I would want. And it's a little bit like love languages. I don't know about you, but in relationships where I get frustrated and I think, but I've loved you in this way, and how have you not felt that? And it's like, well, because I was projecting my love language of how I would feel loved onto you, but you have a different love language. And I think that piece can happen a lot with team, where I know I've created, because if someone created a tiny little box for me and told me exactly what I had to do, I would kick and scream and I would feel trapped. So I try to give all this, space, and I think I'm doing the right thing. And I think I'm probably not alone in that as an entrepreneur and a business leader, we think, no, but I was allowing you to do your thing. And it's like, but again, if we haven't done that work you just described of going, what is this role? What is its connection? There's a very different piece of work, or its pieces, plural, of work to be done to actually set someone up to succeed in the wide range of roles that we're actually talking about here. And they are not going to look like what we require as the business owner. That's hard to learn.